Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Welcome to Monday Live with Alan and Greg. And our guest is Floss from the Grape Jelly Library. Hello. I think this is your second time on our show.
Number 2.
Number
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Welcome
Floss has my
back.
favorite library. She has my favorite library on BookTube.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just love it. So, I like knickknacks, as you can see, too. And I know you like knickknacks, and I like to change them.
Yeah.
And then you have a refrigerator in your library. That's what I would have in mine, too.
I got tired of going downstairs for a glass of wine.
Well, Alan, you know I have a refrigerator in my basement too, so
That's
it's
true. He's got a big one.
Yeah.
no, it's curious because when we bought our house, we ordered one of those primo $3,000 refrigerators, and the builder says they're out of stock at the manufacturer because this was the height of COVID.
Yeah.
COVID was going on, and so they bought the cheapest kind of refrigerator you can buy, and they stuck it in the house. Well, you'll just have this until we can get you a new one. And when they got the new refrigerator, they said, "You just keep the old one. We don't want it back."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just
that one's
have
down
a
the
little
basement, and the new one's up.
Yep.
Yeah. And you
Mine's
said
not
the old one will last longer than the new one.
The old one will be still around by the time we're both dead, and the one upstairs that costs 3 times as much, 4 times as much, will be long gone.
That's funny because the old digital clocks of the 80s, I think it was like 80 or 81. My father got each one of us one for Christmas, and I have 2 sisters. So me and my older sister do not have ours, but my younger sister is still rocking that alarm clock to get up, and it's 40 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I bet you that refrigerator will last.
It will. That'll be around. When people are gone,
Yeah.
may not have power, but it'll still be around. This modern stuff just does not last very long.
No, it doesn't. It costs a fortune and it doesn't hold.
Nope. All right. So, how's everyone doing tonight? Floss?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm always fine.
You are?
Yeah, I said to my son, he sent me a text yesterday. He doesn't live by me. He sent me a text. He said, "Hi, Mom, just checking in to tell you I love you. What are you going to do today?" I said, "I'm going to get a coffee and return something to Target. What are you going to do?" He said, "I'm going to get some food and lay low." And I said, "Whatever you do, do it happy because every one of your family members is safe and life is short."
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to my father today on the phone. I talk on the phone like once a week, but text him. He gets up early too, like me.
Yeah, I get up early too.
So yeah,
What time do you get up?
I'm wearing a shirt that Floss sent me. She sent me this Kiss shirt, and then she likes all this a lot. She sent me this shirt.
Yeah,
I was
thank you.
thinking, out of all, I get a lot of stuff in the mail. I get more stuff than Greg does, But out of all the people, besides Greg, he sent me the most. But he sent me the most things. Not that I'm counting, but this bust of Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
And I noticed you have a new bust in your library, Flo. You have that. Is it Morticia Adams?
Oh no, she's actually old. She's the first one I got. It's the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I got her maybe 3 years ago. And then I got Frankenstein, and then I got Edgar.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
I like my bust of Poe.
Yeah,
And
I find the
just,
best stuff at Halloween.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm going to introduce some people in the comments. We got William's like, hello, William.
Hey, William.
Hello, William.
Got
See
book
the comments.
chat with Pat. Hello, Pat. We got
Hey, Pat.
MJ. Hello, MJ.
Hello,
MJ.
MJ.
Hi, everyone. I'm giving up some Meet Gala fashion for my fashionable friends here. Someone's going to have to help me with what the Met Gala fashion is.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of unfamiliar with that. What is it, Floss? Do you know the Met
I don't
Gala
know.
thing?
I don't know. I think I
We don't
saw
know,
a little
MJ.
bit.
We're not like in the. It must be a big fashion thing. I've heard of the Met Gala, New York, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, but,
kind of t-shirt and sneakers, but I did just see something on the computer. Somebody had a butterfly in the back of their hair, if that's what she's watching.
oh,
Maybe. Yep, she's saying hi to MJ. Hi, Pat. Nicole from Bookish Nook is here. Hello, Nicole.
Nicole,
Well,
indie writer.
Albert is here.
Hey, Albert.
And Hannah from Hannah's Books. Hello, Hannah.
hello, Hannah.
DC in the house.
She doesn't. She lives across the street from DC,
Ah,
and I live down south. So like she's north, I'm south of DC.
yeah, DC.
You're not original. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Flo.
I was going to ask you, Greg, you're not originally from the South?
I was born in Washington, D.C.
Okay, because I was going to
Oh.
say, now you're in Virginia?
Yep.
Are you picking up any of their accents?
No.
No. Y'all?
I know. I don't do y'all. I
No.
don't do. No, and I see. What happened was my parents lived in Bethesda, Maryland, but at the time there were no really good hospitals in Bethesda, Maryland.
Damn.
They had to go into Washington, D.C. So that's why my birth certificate says Washington, D.C., even though they lived in Bethesda, Maryland.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Hey, have you been back to that bakery that we went to? Is it Chancellorville?
No, that's in Fredericksburg, and I go there at least once a week.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, man. I still think about that place. Blueberry scones are the best.
Yeah, they change up what they serve. They're doing a lot of Danishes now. So like a blueberry
nice.
Danish, blackberry Danish, and I said, "Give me one of those."
Yeah, I would try one too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, we got an answer coming up. Saying hi. That was the Met. Yes, that was the Met Gala. Saying hi. Hey, Lee. Lee's here.
Hey, Lee.
I came by my y'all, honestly raised in North Carolina with my whole family from South Carolina.
Yeah.
And read by Fred. Hello, folks. Happy Monday. I just picked up a Fitbit and signed my life away to Google.
Jeez. Yeah, that's about right. Now, Greg, you have a Fitbit, right? You've had one for a long time.
I have not had a Fitbit for a number of years. I have
the Dick Tracy thing.
The Apple iWatch that, like you said, it's Dick Tracy and tells you everything.
How many steps did you walk today?
Oh, I don't know. I have to go. I'd have to go through it about 8,000, 10,000, somewhere around there.
It's like usually the same, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah, today might be a little less because it's actually maid day, and I have to wait till the maids come in the house because they have the cats locked up. So I started my walk a lot late. It was just too hot to walk this morning.
Oh wow!
We're getting to that part in Virginia. People know this. I mean, Hannah's going to know what I'm talking about. Where it's just nasty in the morning. It's hot and it's muggy, and you don't want to be outside at all.
Yuck! It's going to be 80 in Portland or 88 in Portland on Friday. So we're in summer.
Now, Flo, you're in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
All right. So you might have some of that hot, muggy weather as well up in Pennsylvania.
Well, I'm a bird of a different feather because I just love it when you walk out that door at 6:30 and it's already hot and humid. So I don't know. I seem to thrive in the humidity. That's when I go cut the bushes or go on a run. But if it's cold, then that's when I stay in. I don't like to walk in the cold.
You see, I liked it in the Pacific Northwest. It would be overcast and maybe just a little bit of rain in the air, just So you get outside and you just feel damp and you walk. I loved walking in the rain. So
I'm like
Yeah, well,
those.
you would have loved it here this weekend. So all it did is rain. The sun's out now, but
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not a friend to rain.
No, you got to be up here.
No, I'm like one of those solar powered bobbleheads. I'm powered by the sun. When that sun is out, I am out.
Yeah, I bet you seem like it.
All right. So the one question we always do on this show is what have we been reading recently or currently reading? So Flo, as the guest, you get to start off.
Okay.
Either
So,
currently read or currently reading or just finished, whichever you prefer.
I'll do quick. I just finished A Dollhouse by Fiona Davis, and I am currently reading My Best Friend's Exorcism by reading that way.
You're doing that.
And you know what? I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but I'll spoil my review. I am loving it.
Huh.
It's
That's
so
good.
fun.
I saw your shirt on it.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, okay. I got his paperbacks from Hell Book just so I can know all the books he's making me pay a lot of money to buy now that I used to own and
yeah.
so forth. So anything else to highlight?
That I'm reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually reading The Song of Achilles, and I am also reading, this is going to be a little bit boring, but James, I think it's
Percival Everett.
What was that?
Percival Everett?
No.
Isn't this the book about Huckleberry Finn?
Yeah, but yeah. What one?
You said the book you're reading was James.
No, I cannot think. He was a president, and I cannot think of his name right now.
James
Adams.
What?
James Madison.
Yeah, James
Monroe.
Adams.
Monroe Adams.
No, Adams. I put him on hold for 2 minutes so that I can do The Song of Achilles, and then I'll go back.
Oh.
Okay, I like The Song of Achilles when I read that. It's been a couple of years since I read
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to read it. I haven't read it.
I have a slight preference for her other book, Circe.
I read it.
You read it? And I read that and it's banned in Florida. I was like, why did they ban that one? It's just
I don't know.
Because of a strong woman?
That's my theory, is that it had a strong woman and someone said they don't want my daughters reading that or whatever.
Crazy, huh?
It is getting
Florida's
crazy.
So crazy. I got relatives in Daytona. I used to love going down there when I lived like as a kid in Toledo. We'd go up and down 75 to, at summertime to Daytona Beach as a kid. I loved it. But Florida's so crazy anymore. I don't know.
All right, Alan, what about you?
Well, I've had a good reading week. I read Holly, Stephen King for our group. So I know you did too, Greg. So we're ahead of the game on that.
Yep.
That was for May. Then I read Pet Cemetery. Buddy reading that with our friend MJ. And I'm done with that, but I'm waiting for her she's really close. Then I'm in the middle of reading The Elementals on ebook. And that's kind of, I don't know, I like it. I'm laughing more than I'm afraid. I'm laughing like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing at it when I'm afraid, but you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm laughing when I should be. Have you read The Elementals?
I have read other books by that author, but not The Elementals.
Yeah, Scott recommended it to me. It's like his favorite. I guess Michael K. Vaughan likes it too a lot.
Yeah.
Favorite.
Okay, so
I'm enjoying it.
I've been reading for Horror Mayhem. I am reading a collection of short stories called something of the Old Dominion. It's short stories set in Virginia. So I'm reading that. And I don't really want to read short stories just flat out, read the whole collection right through because I get bored quickly. So I picked up a novel today. It's by Jeff Strand. if you ever heard of Jeff Strand, he's a horror writer, but he's a humorous horror writer.
No, I
And
haven't. Jeff Brown.
And the book is called Clowns versus Spiders.
Jeez. Well, I know you like killer animal stories.
I do. But the premise is that there are these 5 clowns work in a traveling circus, and the owner fires them all, saying, "People don't like clowns anymore. You're all fired."
I find that funny. I don't.
And they've been working as clowns for like 20 years, so they're all middle aged, and we don't know how to do anything else but be clowns.
But clowning, we don't know nothing but clowning, Flo.
We don't know nothing but clowning. So they accept a job working as scary clowns in a haunted house in Virginia. It just happened to be set in Virginia. And the only problem is, I don't think Jeff Strand has really researched Virginia at all for this book. He just says, "Oh, where will I set this book?" Looking at I'll set it here.
Huh.
I mean, no atmosphere of Virginia, just like he could have done Massachusetts or Delaware or whatever.
Huh.
But it just so happens that there's a horde of killer spiders running around at the same time in the haunted house. And he just has marvelously dry sense of humor.
Well, what do they do? Obviously, they must bite you, right? They're venomous spiders.
Yes, they're about the size of your head.
Oh Lord, the big ones. Do they sneak up on you like when you're in bed?
No, they just come in vast hordes like a sea sweeping over you.
Whew.
So I mean, no plausibility whatsoever. He's just having fun with all the tropes.
Oh.
Of horror stories, and like, why am I going into a haunted house filled with venomous spiders the size of my head? Just whatever. I'm having fun. It's not a hard book to read. It just flows really fast. And other than that, I finished Les Miserables yesterday.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, how long did it take you?
A little over a month.
Yeah, it's good. Just a leisurely pace, huh?
Yeah, I was reading 33 pages a day, and it was supposed to last a couple more weeks, but I got towards the end and said, I just want to get this done. So I was reading the book and listening to the audiobook at the same time.
Yeah, I like doing that.
So when I finished my last audiobook, which was Children of Ash and Elm, which was a history of the Vikings, I said, something, I'm just going to go through this and finish it up in a couple of days. I had like 7 hours left on the audio book, so I can do that in a couple of days.
How many hours is it? Like 35?
60.
Oh my God. 35. Wow. Oh, 60.
Yes, it might be a little more than 60. All right. Let's catch up with some comments.
I think that's longer than War and Peace.
The Met Gala Ball is the first Monday in May. It's a fashion fundraiser, and this year the theme is based on a J.G. Ballard story. Which story? J.G. Ballard wrote some very interesting stories in his life.
I've never read any.
He's mostly science fiction.
Oh.
Some of them sort of spread out in, other areas. His most famous most notorious is the assassination of John Kennedy, considered as a downhill motor race, where he retells the story of the assassination as if it's a sports announcer doing a downhill motor car race.
I'd like to read that. That sounds kind of like vaguely like a Philip K. Dick or something. The title does.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. I think we missed that one. No, got that. Got that. Oh, Angelia from Read and Reread. Hello, Angelia.
Well, they've been getting bad weather in Texas. She's not in Houston, but Houston's been getting hit bad.
Okay. I've seen pictures of Texas being flooded out in some areas.
Yeah, Houston area
Houston, okay.
by Brian. But
The book is so much fun. Great 1980s style. That was my best friend's exorcism. And MJ saying, make sure to hit the like button for the Monday night show. That would be kind. And the J.G. Ballard story is The Garden of Time. Okay. I'm not sure how that would fit into a fashion show, but
I know that's what I was thinking. They must have like wild fashions or some space age makeup or
yeah, something like that.
a lot of glitter.
All right. Let some people make some. Oh, there we go. Here's another comment. Hello, everyone. I see you have another fantastic guest joining you. Yahoo! Hi, Flossie. Cheers.
Hi,
Hello,
Todd.
Todd. Okay, so what events are people participating in for BookTube this month or in the next coming months? If you want to talk about your future, Floss.
I'm just doing the banned books. I'm doing the horror. I maybe I will do maybe I'll do a Garb August. maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'll try to do a Western. You know, I got Lonesome Dove. That was not for me. That wasn't for me.
No, really.
No, I mean, so many people loved it. I just got bored with it. I couldn't even finish it.
Oh,
So maybe I'll do a Western. I don't know. But I'm kind of like low key. I just like what I can't do is like obligate myself because I'll go crazy. I won't know if I'm coming or going. So I just like stay in the background. And then when something catches my eye. So right now I like the banned books and I'm discovering that I have like, I've never really paid attention to that. But I'm discovering that I've read an awful lot of banned books since I was 30 years old and hardly any since I was 50. And that's weird because I just pick books at random. And I think, how could I pick that many like in my 30s or 40s and so very little in my 50s?
Well, what's curious about that is that at least when I was younger, the banned book list was very different. You had a lot of the classics, like Les Miserables is a banned book or was a banned book, so I can count that for banned books. Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle was banned, so I can read Cat's Cradle and count it as a banned book. And you had all sorts of these books, mostly geared towards adult readers that were considered banned. And when I look at the current ban list, it's all geared towards youth. It's all the current ban. It's basically youth books. And while I have tried to read a couple of the youth banned books for this project, I'm just yawning. I'm just going, it's just not for me. It's for a different demographic. So, and the one that's I still have to make this video is one of the most banned books nowadays is this graphic memoir called Gender Queer. And I remember when I did a video, I had a commenter saying how obscene that book was. And I picked it up and going, this is
nothing.
Really, it's the problem is the narrator doesn't identify with a gender. That is why it's so heavily banned. And I'm going, really? You're upset about that? It's just like puzzles me that some people get so upset about something so trivial and call it obscene.
You know what I found funny this weekend? And she's doing like a, you don't mind me getting a little political here, but I won't get It is regarding books. She wrote a book, the governor of South Dakota. Nome is her last name. She's up
Christine
for,
Ohm.
yeah. And in the book, not only she's the one who shot her puppy, and wrote about it. She also says that in the book, I saw the Margaret, I forget her last name, but Meet the Press interview, and so Margaret is holding up the book, quoting from the book, and she's basically saying that was like a misprint. That we're redoing that. We recalled the book and we corrected that part about her meeting
Kim Jong Un.
right. But she wouldn't admit not meeting him. She go, I've met many leaders, but so you're saying you haven't met him? I'm holding your book up. Well, no, I didn't say that. I didn't. Just trying to back out of it so bad. I just, we all know about books. When you write and publish a book, you go, here's my book. I hope you guys like it. Not, it's the best book out here. This is the book America needs to read now. And, it's just crazy.
Well, what's amazing is that she can't even blame the ghostwriter too much, because apparently she narrated the audiobook version. So she would have to read it and say, oh, here's where I'm meeting Kim Jong-un. And she never called out the correction then.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't even.
The idea is, as someone's mentioned, like the book publisher did no fact checking. Normally, when you publish books of nonfiction, apparently you have fact checkers going through and saying, okay, were you really in this location at this time?
Yeah, I know, dude.
Apparently, none of that happened for this book. And it's just so amazingly stupid. I mean,
yeah, she came off really mean and like a very angry, ugly, mean person, like she'd never been interviewed on TV before.
Right. And how anyone could think that killing a puppy is going to make you look strong.
I just remember back in the day, there was this Labrador who bit the back head off a child, and during like a party or something. I remember I was a little kid, and the guy took it out back and shot it. This is back when I was a kid. But that was, I don't know. It still is bad.
It is.
Change the subject.
Yeah. So, how far along are you in the banned books, Flo? How many have you got down, you think?
I think I got 3 or 4 down.
Okay.
I'm not in a hurry to do that. I'm going to take the whole entire year to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a good way to be, Floss, because I found I got overwhelmed like last month, and I was getting overwhelmed again with all the groups and boxers, and so I had to leave a group and kind of just concentrate on what I'm doing and what's coming out.
Sure, because one thing I hate to do is say that I will and then not be able to. Like it makes me feel really bad. But like if last year I got just 2 between work and home and everything, and I just got 2, and I was like, you know what, it's not fun. So I have
booktubers like you guys who have a family and jobs, and it's just amazing to me. I mean, I go to the post office and I'm tired. I'm done for the day.
Yeah, right. So I'm at a point now where I look around at my books and I get really excited. I'm excited to be a reader again. And that's the feeling that I think I'm going to keep. I like that feeling.
Yeah, I would call myself a mood reader, but I like BookTube because it's given me a schedule. I need scheduling.
Oh yeah, and I love BookTube myself, but I just can't do everything that's on. There's a lot going on BookTube.
It's just impossible to do it all. And people say, you want to join the event? And they go, sure. Wait a second.
Yeah.
I really want to but some of them are pretty easy. Yeah. Like Alan and I are doing the Summer of Sport, where all you have to do is read one sports book during summer. And that's okay. And we're going to read The Natural by Bernard Malmwood.
Yep, with Randy Ray, and he's in the comments.
Randy Ray's in there.
Yeah, he's going to read it with us.
I tried to read The Luminaries with Aaron Facer and Alan last year. And, I had that book for a long time. I wanted to read it. And I thought, oh my God, of all the books, this is the perfect opportunity to do that. I felt so bad because I was so busy. I could hardly pick that book up. So I don't know. One day I'm going to reread it again. But that's what I'm saying. I just don't want to let anybody down.
Yeah, well, when you do reread it, I've read it twice, and I would reread it again. I'd reread it again with you. It's down here somewhere. But I at first I found it really hard to get into. I really did. And then I think I got the audio of it. So I
Me
read it
too.
along. And then, so I liked it. I did read it twice.
I did like it. I did. I was just too busy. But that brings me to another topic. So, do you have books that you were actually enjoying, but maybe life took you in another direction and you put the book down and you just never got back to it? So, you don't technically want to classify it as a DNF,
I
but
hear
you
you. Yeah.
don't know what to call it. So,
Mhm.
like, I've been calling it, I think, like IGD. I got distracted because I still want to read it, but it's been
Yeah, I
like
hear you. Yeah.
I have books that are like sitting for 2 years that I liked, but I don't know what happened.
I have that when the one that really hit me. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Here it is. I really want to read this book. This is the case of Comrade Tulyev. This is sort of a Soviet era crime novel, murder, and it's really fascinating. But you have to pay so much attention to this book.
Mm.
The other books you just have to pay every sentence, every paragraph. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Clowns versus spiders. You can read it with half your brain. I'm sure if I had a beer or a tequila, I wouldn't miss anything important in Clowns versus Spiders. This one, you can't do your tequila, or I should say vodka, because it's Russian. You couldn't drink your vodka and read it at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So have you started that?
This one, yeah, I started it. I got like 60 pages in. I said, something, I just have to set it aside for a time when I'm just ready to put my whole brain behind it.
Okay, so it's not a DNF. What is it?
I just don't count it as a book that I start. I just said no, I'm not counting it. Now it'd be different if I'd been more than 40, 50 pages into it. If you'd been like 200 pages in, it's a 400-page book, and then you've got this problem.
Are you gonna just start it over when you do?
Yeah, when I pick it up, I'm just gonna start it over again. So,
well, you know how they said to the Read What You Own challenge, and books that you began to read but didn't finish, you could pick them up and you can read them. And MJ said you could pick up where you left off, even if it was like a year ago, and it counts. So I like that theory. I'm going with that one.
The thing is, I counted DNFs because I'm reading what I own. If I don't finish, I don't finish. I picked it up, I read it, put it back. Now, one thing
you get credit for the attempt, but
I'm going to throw this out. I'll throw it out now, but when I do the Read What You Own challenge in November, I'm going to change things up. I'm not going to give myself a book count. I'm going to give myself a page count. That I'm going to have to read 20 or 25,000 pages.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And so,
big book.
So if I read 100 pages of this book and I don't like it, I can just put it back. But I can still say I've read 100 pages.
And also, you get credit for the big books. You get more credit.
Yes, that's another issue. Is that when you on these Read What You Own challenges, you're so tempted to pick up short books. To get it off your list. So I could have done like Ms. LaRob and said, okay, I've still read 14,000 pages or 1,400 pages. So it still counts. And you're not worried about, I'm going to pick up The Stranger again because that's only 110 pages,
Uh-huh. Or, yeah.
But no, I know what you're saying. Flo, it's like the thing is, I can't pick up a book after 2 years and start it up again, right where I left. I won't remember anything.
No, me neither.
Well, you could just give yourself a little refresher course.
All right, let's see what's going on in the comments. Lee, oh my God, I agree. Lonesome Dove was not worth my time.
Oh,
I DNF'd it.
Man, I liked it a lot. I've told my Larry McMurtry story 100 times, but yeah, I've read that book a couple times, and Streets of Laredo as well. But I understand people.
I didn't like Shanaram.
Yeah, I
And you
didn't
love
like
that book.
other books. I'm not going to name because a lot of people like the books, and I didn't like them. So,
You know, I don't think people really get upset when you say you don't like their book or a book. If you
Yeah.
tried it, you say it's not for you. Not too many people are going to get upset.
yeah, and it's not like for different reasons. It could be just how I felt at the time, or who knows what.
Yeah. So, Angelia, it's just hot and humid in Corpus Christi. Summer is here.
Yay.
Randy, sorry I'm late. Hey, guys. Hey, darling.
Hey, Randy.
Oh, Lee just finished the novel of the century by David Bellows about Les Miserables. Now, were you part of that, Flo, reading that? You're not part of any of the groups reading that this time around.
No.
Damn, I just turned that down, I thought. Sorry about that.
So Randy says, you know, I'm not going to miss a show where Floss is the special guest.
Ah,
Okay.
Thanks, Randy.
We got a question from Fred. So Floss, I love your library. How many books do you think you have?
I counted them, and I did a video. I think it was in the fall, and I want to say 3,080. Yeah, 3,080.
That's pretty good.
yeah. Pretty good. You know, for me, you're talking about read what's your own challenge for next season. I'm not even sure if I have 25 to 50 books that I haven't read. My
Really?
library. Yeah.
That's cool. That's very good. You should be proud of that.
Yeah, Alan, you look at my row. It's like I have so many. I will never read all these books in my life. I know that.
Yeah.
And if Floss, you think you're ever going to get through all your books, or they're just going to be there on your shelves just in case?
No, I used to be okay. The 3 keys to happiness: someone to love, something to do, and something to look forward to. So, I'm going to read a book, right? After that helps me to keep reading that and be productive. When I finish that book, then I get to reward myself and go buy a book. And I say to myself, of all the books in this store, which one am I going to walk out with? And that's what I did. And that's how I read. But then I got like privy to this whole create a TBR. And now I think the books that I own the books that I haven't read outweigh the books that I have now, because you know what? Book reading is awesome, but book buying is awesome too.
It is.
I love it. I love book buying.
Yeah, I participated in Independent Bookstore Day last weekend, and the idea is it was the 27th. Is that you just go to your local independent bookstore and buy books. Now, the thing is, where I am, they had a punch card of 10 independent bookstores across the region. And if you visit 4, you get a free ARC. You visit 8, you get another free ARC and a free tote bag. And if you visit 10, you get another ARC, and you get thrown into a contest for some sort of giveaway. Now, the problem is where I am, the closest of those was 30 miles away, you know. So I have to do some driving to get to all these used stores, and I've got 6 down. So
Oh, well, that's good.
I don't think I'm going to make it to 10. They're just too far spread for me
What
to.
kind of books are the advanced copies?
Pardon?
What kind of books are they? Like, for example, for the advanced.
Oh, I got for the one arc that I got a mystery by John Dickinson Carr. But
Oh,
the thing is, the bookstores in this area, the independents, are teeny tiny.
Hmm.
I mean, you could fit two of them in my library.
oh, geez,
They're
those are
that
tight.
small.
Damn.
And the one I visited this weekend, I mean, if they had 200 books, I'd be
Oh,
amazed.
that's kind of sad. I wonder if they'll be in business like next year.
Well, they sell gadgets and they have an ice cream parlor in the back. So
Oh,
who
I have a
knows?
hard time picturing that. Even Floss doesn't have an ice cream parlor.
No, Alan, do you have a lot of indie books in your area or bookstores?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Just pals.
Oh, because yeah, I don't. Our area it doesn't have anything.
No,
We
I
don't
used to
even
think
have
that
little
was
free libraries. You what?
oh, what'd you say?
I
Free
said we don't
library?
even have little free libraries.
Oh,
Our
we got a
area is
couple good ones.
for that.
In one of them, I found that I'll never forget. I found the collected mythos of Cthulhu. I still can't even pronounce it. The Lovecraft book with gilded edges and everything. I found that in a free library. I'd never
Oh,
read
cool.
Lovecraft before till like 2 years ago. But I used to think that Powell's was the biggest indie store in America. It's the biggest indie store in the world.
Oh,
No, it's huge. I mean, they have 5 floors filled with books, and these are not small floors. These are ginormous floors filled with books. I mean, you could spend 10 hours there and still not see everything.
Yeah, I should
is
have
it?
a map of it. I was in Powell's last weekend too. I didn't see any maps, but yeah, it's 5 floors, big city block. They have a cafe in there. What else? It's pretty cool. You can sit at the cafe and drink coffee, get on your computer, or read a book, and watch people walk by through the windows. It's on the corner.
Cool. Now I have a question for both of you boys.
Okay.
So quite often when I have to find a book, I have no idea where it is. So do you have that problem? And if not, how do you solve that problem?
In your personal library?
Yeah, I want you to go say, I am looking for this book in my library. Where did I put that?
I don't have that problem. I alphabetize by authors, so I know where to go.
So when you bring home 5 new books, now you have to find 5 new spots. So you got to do a lot of shape shifting.
Sometimes depending on where on the shelf it needs to be put.
Yeah,
I have some wiggle room.
I've got like
Um,
a PPR shelf. See down there?
Yeah.
That's where my new ones that I'm going to read go. But
And so, Alan, you're able to just go to the shelf and get what you want?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, like my Joyce books are over there. Faulkner and stuff are up here. But I know what you mean. Mine are like they're in by author mostly. But I can find like a book that doesn't take me long at all. I don't have that many. I only got a few hundred, maybe at the most.
so Flo, do you have a problem finding your books?
Yeah, I have some in the parlor, some in the, I just keep cookbooks in the kitchen.
Hmm.
So I have some in the parlor, most of them in the library, and some in the living room. And like I can say, all right, I'm looking for this book. And in my mind, I know where it should be, but it's not there. So I usually run up and down the steps about 8 times from the parlor to the living room to the library,
I
up
can
and down,
imagine
up and
that.
down. And then I just give up.
I can
And I just
imagine
go for
that.
something else.
Well, see,
I mean, I've had a hard. I mean, I know the feeling where I can't find a book. It's usually a thin one, like the Crying of Lot 49 or something, and I know I have this book. Where with it? You know, it's usually under my pillow or somewhere.
So you know what I did? Maybe I have them here. Hold on. Yeah, this is what I did. I went and I ordered these things, like if you're going to a wedding or something, these
Right.
table place cards, to write on it with chalk marker and then put it in front of that category, that genre. And I took all of my books off of the shelf in here and I just put them on the floor. I tried to stack them or kind of get some. Oh my God, I wanted to cry because it took me about 5 days to get them back on the shelf. And then after about on the 5th day, you know what? I just gave up. And so I just put them anywhere I wanted on the bottom shelves because I was like, that's it. I had enough. So that did not work for me.
I thought you were going to say you bought a device similar to something you attach to your keys when you leave them, only you put it in a book. And if you lose it, you go to your phone, it will beep. And you can find it.
No.
No,
I got problems.
I guess I'm a little OCD or something, is that I have to have my books in an order. It's like I have all my hardcovers together. So just put them all together. And when I moved in, unboxed them, they were all disordered. So I go through and make piles of the A's and the B's and just go through and shelve them all. So
I once tried to do mine according to the colors of the rainbow, but I abandoned ship. No,
that could not work for me. I just at that point it's like I don't remember what color this book was.
I know it looks beautiful,
I like
but
that
it's a lot of
people
work.
who do that. Like the book chemist does that.
It looks beautiful, but it's a lot of work. Greg, how many books do you think you have?
I have about 3,000 too, something like there.
Yeah.
3,587.
I don't do that. I have this app. It's called Library Thing on the internet where you can categorize. But it's a library for your personal library where you can enter all the books that you own.
Oh.
And it's like a library card catalog. It's on the internet. And I have not put all my books in because it's just
too tedious.
It is very tedious because when you enter a book, you got to catalog it and then say what kind of book it is. Oh, is this nonfiction? Is this novel? Is it mystery? Is it science fiction? Oh. And I get very OCD saying, okay, I want to make sure this is a print book. Jeez. And then I want to say, is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? Is it a novel? Is it a short story? So you got to enter a lot of information.
So you can't scan it?
You can, but it just gives you the title.
Oh.
And just having the title sort of irks me because there's information ready to carry. You want to put the information in.
So Alan's daddy is a reader. Is your wife a reader, Greg?
Not particularly.
No?
She does read.
But yours?
Yeah.
Wow.
She has her own bookshelf upstairs that could fit maybe 3 bookshelves, something like that.
She turned me on to a good book. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I reviewed it. I remember what it was about. I forget the title, but it was like nonfiction. A guy took a trip to India. He's like a New York businessman. And he went on a quest for enlightenment. It was really cool. It was right up my alley. I like India stuff and all the fakers, and the people they stand up. They've stood for like 14 years and their legs are like elephantitis and stuff. So it was like that. I found it interesting, but
yeah.
We'll be playing pickleball and gardening.
Yep. Let's get through some comments here. We're a little behind. Randy Ray, I have 42 books in my currently reading shelf on Goodreads. I haven't DNF'd any of them. Okay. Read what you own. Pick up where you left off a year ago. Wow. There's no way I could remember what I read from a year ago. I have a list of the books I read a year ago, and I said, what was that about? I just have a list, of a book that I read. I barely remember it.
Oh.
William, I'm going to have to read what I own for a while after my next haul. I simply cannot afford new books. Good news is I also have my parents' bookshelf in the library I own. Okay, William.
Nice. Good go-to.
Or no, own? I guess he's down here, library I run. Okay, I guess he runs a library.
Oh, cool.
What is an ARC? I think someone just answered it below. An ARC is an advanced reader's copy sent out by the publishers. Yep, a couple people answered that. Oh, what happened to Flo?
Oh, maybe she went to get another glass of wine.
Here I am. There was
There
something
she
on the
is.
top of my phone, and I went to close it out. But I had to.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We
Okay.
missed you, though.
Angelia stepping out. Right, sort of like early screenings of movie reviews, 1 day, 1 week in advance. Yeah, kind of, William. So here's Floss. Is your spouse a reader too? If so, what genre does he enjoy reading?
No, you could not pay him to read a book. No.
Oh,
No, and he's a cheater because sometimes his job requires him to read a book. He
A
has
job requires what kind of job requires you to read a book?
Oh, like he's warranty. So, customer service,
Okay.
they have to read those kind of like self-help or how would you handle this?
Oh,
Like a couple football coaches put
yeah,
out some
Dale
books
Carnegie
like
here.
that. Yeah.
I actually remember that when I was working for a company, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. And it was basically a sales organization. They sold items to the federal government, and they had a huge sales force. I was in the IT group in the back doing support, but someone high up, and of course, all their VPs are like salespeople, picked out some sort of business book like that in sales that everyone in the company is going to read this book and discuss it.
Yeah, like that habits of highly successful people, stuff like that.
It was something about getting the sale or something.
Yeah. ABC, man, always be closing.
And I'm going like, really? I'm in IT, I process data. This is absolutely worthless to me. But they went to everyone's desk, and everyone's desk had a copy of this book, and we all had to read it.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of self-help books. Might surprise everyone, but I enjoy them. I know some people don't.
No, I
And I
love
see
them.
somebody in the comments who does it, but not that they've made a comment about it yet. But I know he doesn't. But I like my one of my favorites is has always been Wayne Dyer, the guy from PBS, the late great Wayne Dyer. I always liked him. He was a student of Ram Dass, who I think is still alive. He wrote, God, what did he write? Not steal this book, but some kind of philosophical book back like in the 60s. Anyway.
Okay.
Comments if you want.
So Randy Ray, it's just weird because I forgot my daughter's boyfriend the other day, and I've known him a year and actually really like him.
Oh.
You forgot his name?
Well, I think I missed a comment. He says, I have no problem finding my books. Somehow their locations on my shelves are just at the front of my mind, and I have a bookshelf in every room of the house. And then he goes on about how he forgot his girlfriend's boyfriend or whatever.
Name, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the problem with me, I forget neighbors. I'm walking, and I remember if they're walking their dog, I remember the dog's name.
Jeez.
And I go, hi, Gemma. And I'm going, okay, who's Gemma's mother? I don't remember her name.
Well, you can associate it with the dog's name now. Or I always think of it when I meet somebody, I immediately try to think of somebody famous. or like a relative of mine, because it makes an impression on people when you remember their name.
It does. They don't. Thing is, they don't remember my name either, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
I mean, it happens to me once in a while. There's one guy I see on the bus, and he used to work at the market store. But I finally, after about 2-3 times, his name is Jason. Okay, finally remember.
So Fred says only 3,000 books, Greg. Are you also counting your ebooks? No, I am not counting my ebooks. My ebooks are 2,500 and something because it's on my Kindle, so I know how many I have. And that does not include my public domain books. Because in the early 2000s, I bought a disc that contained all these public domain, and they had over like 10,000 books in public domain. So all I'd have to do is load it in my computer and grab one of those.
Yeah, I came across the photo I took of your library. If I come across it, I'll show it. But yeah, your library, if you get like the angle, it's like massive.
Todd, I've always found it interesting how people organize their home libraries. I organize by genres, horror section, comedy, etc. Everyone's different. I mean, I think I'm the only person who does it by hardcover, trade paperback, and mass market, by the size of the book. I don't see many other people doing it that way. But my excuse is when I was in my 20s, I worked for Crown Books, which was a bookstore. And that's sort of how they did it. They just had their hardcovers, their mass markets, and their trade. And I just sort of kept that.
So you did that when you moved there. How long would you say it took you to set that up?
To get all my books organized, probably about 50, 60 hours.
That's not too bad. Not too bad.
Well, the thing is, I'm retired, so I get to sit in my basement and do that for a couple hours, and I don't have to worry about going to the job. And all I have is cats, and the cats just look at me going, "Oh, okay."
I never asked you this. Did you pack them yourself, or did
Yes, I did.
You did. You had to pack them too. Wow. You didn't haul them in the truck.
Now that does not include packing them and hauling them downstairs in the 50, 60 hours. That's probably another 40 hours on top of that.
Do you haul them downstairs yourself?
Yep.
Damn, dude. I didn't know that. I would have wheeled them out back.
Well, you have to get them down the stairs because, in when I lived in Washington State, they were all on the second floor. So I had to carry them down. And
God, that's a lot of work, man.
Now, when we unloaded it in the truck here, they all delivered it to the basement. So it was just
okay. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Do you ever get rid of your books?
I have in the past, and I always regret it.
Oh, good answer.
I've told this story before, but when we were living in Washington, we bought a smaller home in a less prosperous neighborhood just as an investment. We had a 3,500 square foot home, and this home we bought was like 1,800 square foot, really small, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And my wife decided, the tenants, let's kick out the tenants and move into that small home. And so I looked at my bookshelf, said, okay, I'm going to have to sell a lot of books. And so we kicked out the tenants. We put all the utilities in our name. And my wife chickened out. She said, no, I don't want to move there. And I had already unhauled like 20 boxes of books. So.
And now they're on eBay for like 3 times the.
Yes, especially my old horror books. This is the one. I mean, it's kind of funny because one of the books my wife held was an old horror paperback. It's, when are you ever going to read this again?
Oh.
Why do you need this? And I said, I guess I don't. But now I look at it, oh, that book was $1 when I bought it, and it's now $50 on eBay. Because, world changes.
Yeah.
Randy, I have about 1,000 books total in my house.
Cool.
Question from William. To anyone, do you try to keep your brand new books away from your old yellow paged books? Not really.
No,
Welcome to the
not
neighborhood.
contagious. Huh. Sounds like
Hey.
it's funny.
Brian was
Hey,
here.
Brian.
Brian from Bookish.
Rage Biscuit.
Randy. AIDA.
This is Sarah McLachlan's song. Idea. You want to
No,
hear it? Here it goes.
attention, interest, decision, action. They must be talking about
The business book.
business books.
ABC, always be closing.
James, Quite and Curious Volume. Tosca.
Hey, James.
Brian, I hate self-help books. Good call.
Yeah.
Alan.
I told you.
I love them.
Randy, I went through a self-help phase when I was younger. I even walked on burning coals at a Tony Robbins seminar.
Woo!
I like Tony Robbins. You know, he does like a cold flush every morning. He's got like a tank outside his house with cold water, and he just,
No way.
yeah.
Would you
I'm
do
awake
that?
now.
Would you do that, Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I do everything.
Okay.
On the beach.
I remember a short story that I read in high school. It started off with a coal walking incident where someone was like walking on hot coals, and then some other person did it wrong and burned their feet. I'm trying to remember. Maybe someone will remember that short story. Maybe someone won't, but
I was going to guess the opening of Jaws. Peter Benchley.
so James, we're not naming random opits. My company made us read You Move My Cheese.
I think I remember that little
Oh,
book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that book as well. And I've never read it though.
Yeah, it's like a motivational book. Operas. Yeah, I was trying to figure out your message, James.
Wayne Dyer is a favorite of mine. He got famous for your erroneous.
Yeah, that's right, Randy. He's from Detroit, Michigan. My old stomping grounds.
I also really enjoyed Stephen Covey. Normally, I great with names because I make it a big priority, but I have chemo brain.
I'm sending you love, Randy.
James, I'll always remember as Greg's name, etc. Well, thank you, James. I'm surprised I remember your name. I don't know how I remember it, but I do.
I remember because he sent me a Finnegan's Wake book. Another friend who likes to send me books, send me stuff. My address is in my about section.
So
Because I'll send you stuff back. Stickers and
yes, so Randy says I have about 500 on my Kindle, maybe 750.
wow, that's it. You guys are serious readers.
James, sometimes I say my name is Greg along with your introduction.
Yeah.
My bookstore carried 5,000 titles, almost all in the horror genre.
Oh yeah, when he owned his bookstore.
Well, Randy, to compare when I went to the independent bookstores over the past week, I've visited 5. I think across all those bookstores, there may have been 20 horror books. Maybe.
Oh, that's kind of unusual, I think. What was the majority of books? Romance?
Just contemporary novels and fiction.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
hi, hello, Elaine.
Elaine, now, like Floss was asking about independent bookstores here. I don't know if she meant like just small bookstores because we had a few. We had one that closed down due to COVID that I liked. Go, you would have loved it. Both of you guys would have loved it. One of those kind of bookstores that you walk in and it has like aisles. It's so packed with books and magazines all over from top to bottom. You got to go through like yeah, a maze. It says fiction here. Just written out like an old record store or something. We had one like that in Portland and closed down. And then we have some other smaller ones, but Powell's is so easy to like one stop shopping. And
Yeah, I envy Alan his bookstores. Like for me, there's nothing here. We have a Barnes and Noble, but it's
I like that one that we went to. It had like more than books in it though. It had all kinds of like record albums and posters and
oh, that Second and Charles. They had a crappy selection.
well, they
They
have
had
a
no
it's just
no they
you've been through it like so
they,
many
they
times.
had 3 bookcases full of James Patterson.
Yeah, true. Stuff like that. But they had a lot of I like the store itself.
Eh,
I could see spending some money there. Not only on books, I'd be buying other stuff.
I thought their selection was a little weak. All right. So let's see. It can be a tough decision to keep buying physical books. I'm trying to move towards digital books and reduce the amount of physical stuff that I have. Fred, for new books, I am almost always digital audio now. I just don't need to buy a new. The one exception was when I went to the independent bookstores this weekend because I wanted to support the store. So I'd buy a physical book, but normally I would have just bought the ebook version.
Do you read ebooks, Flo, much?
Yeah, I never did. I am an electronics person for sure, but I am more of a physical book and more so hardcover. And
Oh,
because I never really explored ebooks, I always thought, oh, they're not going to be any good for me because I take my books in the pool, in the tub, out in the sun. So, but
uh,
I've since learned that that's not true. That's not true at all. So I do have my fair share of e-readers. My believe it or not, my favorite one is like the Nook, and it's only the size of my hand, but I love it because I could just throw it in my purse and go. But
yeah.
I don't really grab my other ones. I just like, I don't know. I think I need a coffee and a book.
I like mine because I can like set it like on an angle and read it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are awesome, and I love knowing that I have them. But my brain is like old school. It just goes to the book.
yeah, I mean, I prefer physical books too, but I someday I'll get
And
a big Kindle, like Kindle White. I would like paper white, is it called?
Right, the Kindle
yeah.
Paperwhite.
Yeah.
Greg said that he gets bored, and I do too. I get bored fast. So I like knowing that I have a different scenery in my hand as opposed to the same e-reader in my hand all the time. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true too.
It's a
Well, for
thing.
me, also the size of the print is getting to me nowadays.
Yeah.
Some of the older books that I have, the print is really tiny, and I have to go find my reading glasses and
Yeah,
just sort
I
of.
can see that because I am coming into that now, and I wondered, will I be a reader the older that I get? Because is that going to be a problem for me? But now, because of e-readers, I don't see that it
I
is.
know. I mean, honestly, I'll just pull this one up as an example. I keep I print around this size, which is good, but if my eyesight really, really gets bad, you can go something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And between that and reading glasses, you'd be blind. You couldn't do it. So
But I am a huge fan of Audible books. Huge.
I
think,
love my audiobooks.
yeah, I couldn't live without them.
So when do you listen to your audiobooks usually?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, every morning when I'm getting ready for work, every morning I'm listening to one. And then if it's my day off and I'm scrubbing a stove or pulling weeds, yeah. Like in the car when I'm going to work, if it's quiet at work, then I'll put one on every chance I get.
I am the same way. I do my hour walk every morning. So I'm always got an audiobook then. If I'm driving somewhere,
Yeah.
put it in.
Yeah.
Chores around the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing to do is when my husband tries to talk to me, I love to do this because I'm reading.
How rude.
Well,
I'm
I
reading.
have some pretty thick noise canceling headphones inside the house.
And I say to him, why do you always try to talk to me when I'm reading? But I'm always reading.
And because sometimes, my wife's talking to me. If I have my earphones, I don't hear her because she has a quiet voice that does not project. For
Yeah.
me, I have a loud voice. If I'm downstairs, I mean, I'm trying to be quiet now because I don't want her to hear me talking.
Well, what's the problem? All you have to do is text you on your Dick Tracy phone. You watch.
I know.
But
yeah,
I was gonna say I think you're more active, Floss, than we realize. You say you like go running and pull weeds.
I don't.
Yard work is strenuous.
Yeah. I don't sit still. I am like when I'm at work, and my boss wants to talk. I cannot talk to him sitting down. I have to get out of that chair and stand. I spend most of my time standing, very little of it sitting, and that's for me one of the reasons why I don't like watching movies. I cannot sit for 2 hours. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's getting worse as I get older because I always have to be doing something. And I had to tell it never was like that, but I've always been a mover, but I'm telling myself I can never stay focused on one thing for too long. I feel like there's too much life I got to be living to be dedicating like 2 hours to reading. Do you know what I mean? I want to, but I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rarely bored. I have too many hobbies, and that's why I'm retired too, basically, and so I don't really have a schedule, and I sleep whenever I want. Kind of like I eat when I'm hungry. I sleep when I'm tired. So I just get up and start doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot to do.
Kind of a news junkie too. I might not have. I haven't muted, but I have like news on overnight. So, and I might have to stop watching it. It kind of started to bother me,
In what way?
I get righteous indignation. Like I think I'm right, and I can't believe what they're doing and all that. I get myself riled up. I used to have my ex is pretty political too, back in Toledo, Ohio, and I'm sure she's like I haven't heard of any protests like in Ann Arbor, but if there was, she would go to it. She went to like the Million Man March in DC, and she went to like the Women's March. Took her daughter, the one a few years ago in DC. So I get kind of riled up about it. I've been voting since I was 18.
Yeah, well, to be passionate about something is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the news is it's all geared to make you mad nowadays about something.
Yeah.
You mean, you get it's like mad at whatever the other side's doing. You got to get this righteous indignation. I'm mad about that. They're not right.
Yeah.
Somebody said today to me that it's not over till it's over, and that he wouldn't be surprised if Trump's not even nominated. And I'm going, well, who else would be nominated? He goes, well, wait and see.
I think he will be nominated.
God, no.
I think there's a very good chance that he could get convicted in New York. Although my money's on a hung jury. I think there's going to be one person on that jury who's just says, "I don't care about the evidence. I'm not convicting." That's my personal prediction is that it's going to be a hung jury.
Hope not.
Well, who knows?
I'm really kind of worried about it, but people say, there's nothing you can do, you just small cog in a wheel and doesn't really matter who's president and da-da-da.
Let's see.
Anyway.
Elaine, LOL, I have about 20 self-help. I love them.
Yeah.
Great reads on blah days. Hello, Elaine. Brian, everyone needs to encourage Alan to write his memoir. He's not lying when he says he's done everything.
I wouldn't say that. I've done some things.
Well, you see, Alan, I'm the opposite. I've done nothing.
Well, sometimes that's a good thing. Greg's never been in a hospital, for example. Believe that? God, I've been in so many hospitals. Not lately.
Wayne Dyer had a home in Hawaii, and a friend of mine was his neighbor.
Wow, no shit, Randy. Yeah, that's right. Because Todd Rundgren lives in Hawaii, too. Yeah, Wayne Dyer would always walk around barefoot. When he spoke, he'd enter the room from the back barefoot. He was a cool guy. I liked him.
So, Alan, you sent James some stickers and a little watercolor. I really like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem, James.
He's ready. I think I might have sold 20 horror books in 3 years.
Gee, I
guess he said his bookstore wasn't a big success.
No, but I think the genre would be more popular for books like small bookstores.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah, not every. Do you like horror, Floss?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am a mood reader, so I would, if I was to read it, I always go towards like August, September, October to do that. I love true crime. I'll do that all year.
Oh. I like crime fiction, but
yeah.
Like if you name a famous crime fiction writer, I guarantee I've read like several of the books.
What do you think of James Ellroy?
Oh, love him.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Powell like 2 years ago for his latest one, the one with the swastika on it, the cover. And I was working at Smith Tea Maker. I couldn't go.
Oh.
I know, get his autograph and everything. But I like you. I like Black Dahlia the best out of the LA Confidential books.
I think that's probably my favorite book. That's the one that I've read. That's the one that I've read twice.
Yeah.
I have to do his crime on his Underworld trilogy. Reread that.
Like American Tabloid.
American Tabloid. Blood is a River. Something like that.
Yeah.
So Elaine's. My hubby has ebooks. Mine are all physical. I need to have them in my hand. So Lee, oh my God, I just looked up my total books on my Book Buddy app. 1,489. Yikes. And that's not all of them.
Oh, pretty good. Very good. Nice collection.
That is a nice collection. Oh, Lane says our thrift stores are great. LOL, last few months, several book hauls. They're hit or miss where I am. You sometimes find something, but mostly it's very sparse.
I've been saving my money up for something not book related, so I haven't been buying too many books.
No, what you saving up for?
A guitar,
Ooh,
Don't you have 2 guitars already?
yeah. Need another
All
one.
right.
Randy can relate.
So, Todd, Nature's Mysteries by Zolar from the 70s.
Ah,
I was just given this book recently. Anyone hear of it? I have not. I am sure no one has. LOL. My 80-year-old uncle gave it to me. Yes, to physical books and audiobooks.
Zolar. Wow. It sounds really
Yeah,
interesting. I wonder if it's like Jewish mysticism, or
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
I've heard of the Zohar, but
So, MJ, I'm heading off to sleep. Great to see everyone. Great show, Floss and fellas. Good night, MJ.
yeah,
Night,
she
night.
gets up early.
I know she gets up at 4:30 in the morning, so
Yeah, we're reading Pet Cemetery. If I didn't mention that before, and having fun with that. It's a reread for me. And I was talking to Greg about it. I didn't remember the ending. I remembered specific things that had to do with a cat. And I knew it had
I remember the very last scene. I remember the last sentence or word of that book.
Yeah, it's good.
It's,
I really enjoyed it.
I think it's Stephen King's best book.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to watch the movie maybe tonight. I was going to do it over the weekend, but I don't know. I was watching basketball with Una.
But I saw another video that someone put out about when Stephen King wrote Pet Cemetery, he decided he didn't want to publish it. He thought it was too strong of a book. He's like, this ending is too creepy.
Yeah.
And he put it in the shelf.
Huh.
And then he had a contract with the book publisher for one more book, and he had no other book. He said, I'll just give him Pet Cemetery.
No kidding. That sounds like a King story.
I have no idea. But I remember it as my favorite. We'll see. Randy Ray, my bookstore should have been called Randy's Folly.
Oh, jeez.
Peter the Book Lover, hello from Chicago Public Library. Hello,
Yeah,
Peter.
I love Chicago.
I do too. When we were living in Washington,
What was that?
when we were living in Washington, my wife wanted to move. I really wanted to move to Chicago.
Yeah, don't you have a relative there? Or?
Yes, she has a cousin, and he had a condo right off Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
It's not really.
I've been there a couple times.
He had a double condo.
Wow, nice.
Because apparently what happened was originally there were 2 condos next to each other. Each one had a gay man inside. And the gay men said, hey, I kind of like each other. And they were just going back and forth to their condos. And they just decided, we're going to tear down the wall between our condos. And then they moved out.
Break down that wall. Break down that wall.
So eventually they sold both of their condos as one. Now, the only problem is, according to the condo association, it's 2 condos.
Huh.
So he has to pay 2 condo fees.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but the only problem is he's one of those guys who just like hemorrhaging money. And he's like, oh, okay. You know, not real concerned about 2 condo fees. But it's lovely. You can look
I
at
love seeing Shakespeare in Chicago. So much Shakespeare. I love Chicago's Chinatown. It's huge. They must have like 2 or 3 temples in their Chinatown. And then all the restaurants, you can spend a week in Chinatown, or I could. I like Chinese food. But
yeah, I really liked it when we went to visit. Because you just go down and you walk out his front door, cross the street, and you're in Lincoln Park.
yeah, I mean, I got used to the trains too. We used to go when I lived in Toledo, when I lived with Molly, and I've driven there from Toledo. I've taken Amtrak. I've been to O'Hare Airport, huge airport. What else? Yeah, seen Shakespeare on Navy Pier. They got a Shakespeare company, and then I saw Steppenwolf does Shakespeare. Steppenwolf has an offshoot of called like the Garage. They do Shakespeare in that. Peter probably knows. And then the food is off the chain.
Yeah. And so he goes, rock and roll. All right. I love Pet Cemetery. Elaine also likes Pet Cemetery. I like the cat from the new Pet Cemetery more than the old Pet. I've only seen the old movie. I've never seen the new one.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. But I'm going to watch the old one. $3.99 on YouTube. Do you like to cook, Floss? Are you into that? Yeah. I do a little cooking myself. I have some specialties.
Yeah, what are they?
Well, like meat or beef stroganoff. I like to make. I like to make like I have a meatloaf recipe, but like I cook the same things. Like and then I rotate them. You know, spaghetti, pork chops. I'll go through it. You know, taco salad. That's easy. Now, Greg makes a mean like enchilada dish. Greg makes enchiladas.
I do. I have not made them for a long time, but the problem is like I get, you make because my wife and she doesn't like my wife does not like my cooking at all. She just doesn't want to eat.
Huh. So you guys go out a lot, or does she?
Well, the problem is that she plays pickleball a lot of evenings, like 2, 3 nights a week. So
Man, she must be getting good.
yeah, she just won a tournament.
Oh,
she has a pickleball tournament. It's not here. It's not one of the pros, but she was undefeated. Her team
wow. Did you
out
go
of
watch?
6 games.
Did you go watch?
She doesn't.
She doesn't like you to.
No, she doesn't watch my live show, so I don't feel obligated to go watch her pickleball games.
You have to go sneak in and watch her. That's what I would do. I'd go sneak in and watch.
Maybe I will one day.
Yeah, man, you might be impressed. Go, damn, my wife's got skills.
Mm-hmm.
Out there going, bam, bam.
All right.
See, if I lived out there, I'd be into pickleball. That's something I would enjoy. I know it.
Well, we have to try it. I when we moved down here, we both joined the pickleball group, and I tried playing a couple like the training sessions, and I just got bored so quickly.
Huh. Yeah, I would be playing pickleball. I'd be like in the billiard.
There's something in my psychology that does not like games.
Yeah, you don't like cards, although
I don't like cards. I don't like indeterminate functions where you don't know the outcome going in.
Oh, gee, you don't like gambling then, huh?
No, I don't.
Damn, play 6 and 8 with odds, man. I got that tattoo in Vegas. So, Floss, like anything else you want to mention or want to talk about Elvis or anything? Or
no, we can talk about whatever. Okay. I see you sent me a little video.
Oh yeah, I sent you the Pork Salad Annie. That's like probably my favorite Elvis song.
Yeah, that's cool.
So many to pick from.
When I was younger, in my I don't know, 16, probably up until 40 something, I did a lot of cooking, like you said, pork chops. I think I did pork chops the best. Chicken, spaghetti, all that kind of stuff. And baking too. I loved to bake. So But then guess what? Something happened, and then I just stopped eating meat altogether.
Ah,
And then I did a raw vegan diet for about 3 or 5 years, 5 probably.
no kidding.
And
Wow.
then I just said, well, you know what? I don't think I'm getting enough protein in my diet. So I just switched it up to vegetarian. But you know what? For the longest time, I thought I look at my stove and I'm like, I don't even need you. I don't even
Oh,
need
I didn't know
you.
all that. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Well, I usually do things in like spurts. So anywhere from 3 to 5 years, and then I just try something else. But
Yeah.
I'm in a good spot right now. I just eat a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I said to my boss, here's a question to ponder. So people get sick all the time, right? And there's nothing that we can do about it because it was in our cards. But I asked my boss if there was such a thing where only a certain amount of people would never die. They would always live forever. Say like one in every 40,000. And he was that one. Would he like that? Would either one of you like that to fall upon you? Like say, I'm that one. I'm never gonna die.
I don't know.
I think I could live with that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I think so.
He's kind of got an atheistic bent, though.
But look at since let's just go with the roaring 20s, right?
Right.
Look how far our society has come right now to this point. Could you imagine what it's going to be? And
Yeah,
you're
I
still
think
It'll be
going to be
about
very
that.
around.
different.
You're going to be around, Greg.
I know.
Like just like in 2050 alone.
Yeah.
That's like nothing.
Well, you just go with the flow. Now,
Yeah.
the only problem with that is if you think about it logically, if your lifespan is unending, the rest of humanity is going to be evolving. And sooner or later, you will not be the same species.
Oh,
Or,
so
I
grown.
mean, when you think about when I say that same species, you'll be a different genus. Like it'd be like if, let's say, got your 1 in 40,000 when Neanderthals were around. Well, you'd still be a Neanderthal, but everyone else would be Cro-Magnon or modern man. And then when modern man becomes the next stage in our evolution, you'd still be a Neanderthal.
Yes, that would be very interesting, huh?
And people could you look like a Neanderthal.
Even a caveman can do it.
Well. The one thing is, everyone, at least a lot of the biologists say, if you actually had a Neanderthal on the bus in New York City dressed in modern clothes, you would not say, "Oh, that's a Neanderthal." You do, "Oh, that's just someone." I mean, but that's only a couple.
My cousin Vinny.
Something. But no, I don't see. I don't see a reason why I would dislike that.
I don't know. I think things would get old after a while.
Everything's changing.
Yeah, it's true. But then you make friends with people and they die on you, and it's just like, what's the point anymore? I don't know.
Alan, the problem is that when you say about that, it's like I've had many cats over my life, and I still miss my old cats that have passed on. I'm not going. Well, it's not worth it having a new cat because my old ones are gone. You just get a new
True.
cat, and your new cat's there with you for their life. And
yeah, I was really close to my dog Angus, and I still want another miniature schnauzer someday. I'm good with schnauzers.
what about you, Flo? Would you live like that?
No, I'm out. I'm out.
Flo's out. I'm with Flo.
Yeah, I'm gonna rest in peace.
I'm gonna rust in peace.
Yeah.
Rust in pieces.
Okay, we got a question from Peter the Book Lover. Alan, do you practice with backing tracks
I do.
There are a lot of them on YouTube. I'm not even sure what he's asking.
Yeah, guitar, like backing tracks. I do. That's exactly what I do. Or I play along with real songs. I've been playing along with the new Black Crowes album.
Mm.
I like some songs off that. But good question, Peter.
I guess it's a music thing that I don't understand.
Yeah, a backing track is just like with no vocals, just like the music, and then you play lead or whatever behind it.
Okay.
Like practicing with a metronome or
So now here's Peter's with you guys. It'd be very sad. Most of the people you really care for would be dying on you. That's a lot of funerals.
yeah, there's a vampire story. It was a movie with Henry Rollins in it. I think it was like an independent movie, but that was the premise. And he got tired of living too. But I can see your point, Greg.
All right.
Always something to get into.
Well, I have 40,000 years to read all these books, you know,
Right.
or whatever. All right. Well, do we have anything else to go on, or do you want to call it a night?
Floss?
Whatever you do, I'm fine with.
Well, I've got a date with the Pizza Jerk, my little pizza parlor down the street. That's all I'm doing.
Have
So-
fun.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, I hope they have a daily special. I hope it's meatball. I like meatball pizza.
You like meatball pizza? You've
Yeah,
mentioned
before-
you've
I used
mentioned
to
that
think it was-
before.
I used to think it was like round meatballs on a pizza, but no, it's meatballs and they slice it up,
Yeah.
So it's like little pepperoni meatballs, but very tasty.
Okay. Don't have meatball pizzas here.
No, but you have some good Thai restaurants.
We do. We have a good Thai restaurant. We do. Change modes like changing your chords when you solo. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's it. I really don't either. I know what he's talking about modes, but in relation to what, I don't know.
Okay. Well, then we've been on here an hour and almost 40 minutes. So that's a pretty long time.
Yeah, thanks, Floss.
Well,
Sure
Floss,
thing.
thanks for
having
coming
me.
on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, time goes fast.
It
Yeah.
does. All
Well,
right.
thanks for the shirt. Anybody wondering, the shirt is I'm wearing it because Floss gave it to me.
I
And
wanted
also-
to know, do I look as good as you do in it?
Yes. I've seen Kiss twice. I saw him once with makeup back in the day.
Did you read the Paul Stanley book?
No.
It's going to be, do the Audible version. He narrates it, and it's going to be one of the best books you have ever
Really?
listened to. Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow, that's good. I was afraid you'd say, "Oh, it's so chauvinistic," and
Oh, no, I used to think he was like a big ham, just showing it up, and I would generate towards Gene. But listening to the book, Paul was lovely.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I wonder if it's. I'm sure Libby has it. And
Yeah,
Paul's a
or-
painter too. Paul paints.
Or maybe even check YouTube. Maybe you can find it free there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I like rock biographies.
yeah. It's a good time.
All right.
But boys, have a good night. What are you going to
Well,
do?
yeah,
Greg?
well, everyone, it looks like we're wrapping up. So for everyone in the chat room, have a good night.
Bye. Bye,
again.
everyone.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Catch you next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.